Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, hi, welcome back to the Baseball Head. Hopefully you like this video. We're going to go through the players that were on the free agent market who've been signed and players that have been traded, who could be traded. A lot of names to go through. If you like this stuff, you want to subscribe to this channel. I'll have this on a regular basis. Should have one more of these videos before we get to the end of the year. We got another week. And in a couple of days we have Christmas. Can't wait. And to all of you, Merry Christmas. But let's start at the very top of this list. Number one on this list, Juan Soto. Signed with the New York Mets for one of the biggest, well, the biggest contract in American sport, well, really world sports history. We signed with the New York Mets for 15 years, $765 million. Holy shit. A lot of money. Amazing. Amazing contract, and that's been the basis behind the Mets' entire offseason. Next, and he has a qualifying offer. The Mets will have to give a draft pick to the New York Yankees, which they're more than happy to do. Next up, Corbin Burnes. He has not signed with any team yet. I don't know where he's going. He might not sign until after the new year. That's what the word was last week. But a couple of teams on him, supposedly. The Phillies, Boston. Might not be Boston so much because they made that trade for Jesus Luzardo. Baltimore, possibly going back there. The Cubs, San Francisco, probably, possibly. Although I was hearing that they might have cooled on him a little bit. And I'm hearing also the Blue Jays. Where's he going to go? I would say he goes back to Baltimore. Orioles have done nothing. They've had a terrible offseason, in my opinion. I mean, they signed Tyler O'Neill, but they had done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the owner said they were going to spend money, but the general manager doesn't seem to want to spend any money. Makes no sense. All right. And he has a qualifying offer. Pete Alonso, still out there. So we're going to eliminate a whole bunch of teams now because a whole bunch of teams aren't interested. Yankees aren't interested. They signed Paul Goldschmidt. Houston, they signed Christian Walker. Washington made the deal for Daniel Lowell. We heard early on the A's, but I believe that he will go back to the New York Mets. It's the most obvious place. I haven't heard much about the Cubs. I don't think San Diego's interested. We'll see where he goes. I have a few other teams. It doesn't seem like Seattle wants to spend any money this offseason. I don't expect the Brewers to do any of that either. Alex Bregman. I was hearing a little while ago that the Mets are kind of getting cold feet because they don't want to waste another. They don't want to give up another draft pick to a qualifying offer for somebody who's not a future Hall of Famer. But the Mets are interested. I will say that. Houston is out. I'll get half a bell. Houston is out because they signed Christian Walker. They said that on Monday that they sold and they moved on. Keep an eye on Seattle, but like I said, I don't think they're going to spend money. There's Boston and Detroit. Keep an eye on those two teams. Those two teams could be very, very interested in signing him. So he is sort of a major question mark at this point. Next up, Willie Adams, signed with the Giants. That was a big move that the Giants needed to make. It's a very good move by the Giants, to be honest with you. They needed a very good player in the middle of that lineup and in that team. They needed a shortstop badly. As you know, they had Brandon Crawford, who was their shortstop for a very long time, and now he is retired, and they needed to replace that. And they've been looking for a big bat. He's a very good player, a winning player. Shane Bieber, signed with the Guardians. Jack Flaherty, still out there. Who knows where he's going? Early on, we're hearing the Mets possibly going back, but that's not going to happen now. The Mets are moving on from free agency. Other than Roki Sasaki, possibly he'll go back to the Dodgers. Keep an eye on the Angels. Keep an eye on Detroit. I don't expect him to go to the Yankees, although that was early discussed in rumors. Blake Snell, signed with the Dodgers. Sung Kim, plenty of teams on him. I'd add a new team, the New York Yankees. But we've heard Seattle, the Angels, the White Sox, believe it or not, Houston, San Diego going back there, or Detroit. Anthony Santander. I don't know where he's going because I have not heard much on his market. Very similar to Pete Alonso. But I'll throw a couple names out there. The Cubs, Seattle, Houston, Milwaukee, Toronto, San Francisco, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and I'll even put the Yankees for the moment. He's not going to the Mets, so we'll scratch him off. Scratch the Mets off the list. We'll scratch off Houston, too. And so we got, and I would think that Milwaukee, they're not going to give up a qualifying offer. Max Kepler, signed with the Phillies. Ross Stripling's still out there. He's not attached to anybody. Justin Turner's still out there. Believe it or not, he's still viable, I guess. Seattle was very interested in re-signing him. Believe it or not, Max Scherzer's out there. I don't know what he'll sign. He should just retire at this point. Max Fried signed with the Yankees. Has qualifying offer. They'll have to give a draft pick to the Atlanta Braves. Carlos Estevez. I've never heard nothing with him. Heard, but the teams recently just read the tea leaves. Texas, Oakland, Toronto, the Yankees. I guess that I would take the Yankees out. It was Devin Williams and the Cubs. Paul Goldschmidt signed with the Yankees for 1 year. Kyle Hendricks signed with the Angels. Aroldis Chapman signed with the Red Sox. Christian Walker signed a 3-year deal with the Astros. Walker Buehler just on Monday signed a deal with the Red Sox. Mike Conforto signed a 1-year deal, believe it or not, with the Dodgers. Frankie Montas signed a deal with the New York Mets. What a great setup I got here. Framba Valdez. He's not getting moved. According to reports, Dana Brown, the general manager, said it doesn't seem like they have any kind of appetite to move him. Carlos Correa, I don't think he's going to get moved. He's got too much money on him. But there was talk about the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees. I don't think it's going to happen. Brandon Lowe, nothing. Heard nothing with him. Ryan Yarbrough, nothing with him. Tyler O'Neill, signed with the Orioles. Gio Urshela, signed with the Athletics. Justin Wilson, signed with the Reds. Jurickson Profar, be interesting to see where he goes. He's more of a bat DH type. I'll put the New York Mets in. They're looking for an outfielder. They were in on Jock Peterson. Keep an eye on him. Also keep an eye on Jesse Winker, re-signed with the Mets or possibly going back to the Reds. Haven't heard much from him in the last few weeks. Sean Manaea on Monday, signed with the Mets. Actually signed Sunday night. In the middle of the night, signed a big contract, a 3-year, $75 million deal with the Mets, and a lot of the money is deferred. Luis Severino is here with the Mets for 1 year, signed a 3-year deal for $67 million for the Oakland Athletics, or formerly Oakland Athletics. Keep an eye on the Athletics. They're going to have a good year next year. That's my prediction. Jose Quintana, another former Met, for Cincinnati, Texas, the White Sox, Detroit, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. He should go to Cincinnati because they're going to have a good team with a great manager, and they will be a team to be reckoned with. That's my prediction. And they have one of the best players in the game in L.A. De La Cruz. L.A. De La Cruz is going to be an MVP candidate for 2025 because Tito Francona is going to make him even better than he is. Teoscar Hernandez, still, it looked like he was going to re-sign with the Dodgers. I've heard nothing. Things are completely stalled there. But teams on him that could possibly be, again, Cincinnati, the Dodgers, like I said, Kansas City, San Francisco, Boston, Atlanta. He's got a qualifying offer. Mentioned about Luis Severino before I forget. He has a qualifying offer back to Hernandez, Atlanta, San Diego, Baltimore, and the Yankees. Justin Verlander, I only heard one team, and that was about a month ago. And that was the Mets. I don't think the Mets will be going back down that road. Gleyber Torres, we've heard, and I've heard Seattle, Detroit, and the Blue Jays. And tonight, I was hearing the Yankees, but Jack Curry of the S Network kind of put the kibosh on it. Who knows? Nathan Eovaldi re-signed with the Rangers. Michael Wacha re-signed with the Royals. Tanner Scott still out there, believe it or not. The closer market has not moved on the free agent market. That's why Estevez is still out there. That's why Kenley Jansen's still out there. Travis d'Arnaud signed with the Angels. UC Kikuchi signed with the Angels. I would mention the Angels have made quite a few moves. They're still going to be bad next year. They're going to finish last. I think that's what's going to happen. Clay Holmes signed with the Mets. He signed a 3-year deal. He's going to be a starter. If it doesn't work out, the Mets will put him in the bullpen. No problem. Matthew Boyd signed with the Cubs. Jock Peterson signed with the Rangers for a 2-year, $37 million contract. Crazy. Mets were never going to do that. Nick Pivetta, still out there. Prior to them re-signing Sean Manaea, I was hearing them a little bit, but Boston, he could go back to Boston, but could sign Baltimore. Toronto's got a qualifying offer. Nick Martinez, re-signed with the Reds. Here's some Japanese imports. Let me see. First up is Tomoyuki Sugano, signed with the Orioles. Ruki Sasaki, Roki. We got the Dodgers on him, the Mets, the Yankees, believe it or not, of course. San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, Toronto, the Angels, the White Sox, believe it or not, and he met with the Texas Rangers. So he is sort of open to going anywhere at this point. The Mets had the most money, but the money's not going to matter with him because it's all about whether he wants to sign, because he'll be under the international signing rules, which means they could sign him for a minimum minor league contract. Shinazuki Ogasawara, I haven't heard much of him. He's a starter, left-handed. Milwaukee, I've heard San Diego, the Mets, Cleveland, and the Oakland A's. We'll see where he goes. Alec Bohm, I don't know where he's going. I'm thinking that and hearing that he got pulled off the trade market and he's not going to get traded right now. Garrett Crochet, get traded to the Red Sox. Ryan Helsley, I put Arizona here, but he could get moved from the Cardinals. Carl Santana, signed with the Guardians. We're going to go through a bunch of names. Harrison Bader, nobody. Alex Verdugo, nobody. Jay Martinez, nothing yet. Kenley Jansen, haven't heard anything. The Mets should look into making him a setup man for the Mets. Blake Trinan, Dodgers, signed with the Dodgers. Bo Bichette, all kinds of rumors that Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero could get traded. Vladimir Guerrero has set a deadline of a contract. Bo Bichette, there's all kinds of rumors about him being moved. I don't know what the Blue Jays is doing. It doesn't seem that they're getting a lot of luck trying. Nobody wants to play in Canada. I'm telling you, it's just not. It's not a good situation up there in Canada. We got tyranny north of the border, and nobody wants to deal with that nut job Trudeau, the governor of the governor of Canada. Nobody wants to deal with him. So if you want to know why players don't want to go to Canada right now, it is bad up there, and they don't want to play there. So guys like Bichette don't want to sign, and guys like Vladimir Guerrero don't want to sign, or any of these big players, you'll know why. It's the dirty little secret that's going around. Luis Robert Jr. heard Pittsburgh. He should get moved. Nolan Arenado. We've heard that he's going to get moved. He turned down the deal to Houston. Houston, the door's not exactly closed, but it might have closed with this signing of Christian Walker. But keep an eye on the Phillies, the Mets. I'd stay away from if I was the Mets. The Dodgers, the Angels, and the Yankees. I think that all likelihood he will be moved. Probably get moved to the Dodgers because he's from Los Angeles, or the Angels. That's how I look at it. Kyle Finnegan, pretty good close with the Nationals. They non-tendered him a contract. There were a couple of teams out there. Arizona, of course, at the Phillies, Atlanta, and the Pirates. Jordan Romano signed with the Phillies. Jeffrey Springs got traded to the A's. Josh Naylor got traded to the Diamondbacks. And really just a salary dump. Cody Bellinger got traded to the Yankees. A salary dump. Devin Williams traded to the Yankees. Ryan Presley, keep an eye on him. He might get moved. Might not. Keep an eye on him with the Mets, the Cubs, and plenty of teams that want a good setup man like him. Kyle Tucker, traded to the Cubs. Here's a bunch of trade candidates. And one player that was traded. Dylan Cease for Boston, the Mets, Cubs, Phillies, and Cleveland, and the Baltimore Orioles. I don't see him getting moved now to the Mets now because they re-signed Sean Manaea, and the word is really, like I said, they're thinking about not making any more big moves other than Sasaki. Luis Arias. I've heard the Yankees, just throwing teams out there. The Yankees, the Cubs, the Mariners. I put the Mets there for the hell of it. Jesus Luzardo, trade to the Phillies. Was not on my list. Keep an eye on Jeff McNeil. Got a bunch of teams on him, but haven't heard much on his market. Boston, Seattle, Oakland, Milwaukee, and the Angels. Starling Marte. Better than 50-50 chance, if not higher, He will be traded by the Mets before opening day in the next month or so. I would think Oakland and Seattle will be very interested in him. Brett Beatty. There have been about 5 teams mentioned about him. Seattle, Oakland, the Angels, Miami, Chicago, and the Brewers. The best place for him to go would be the White Sox, because then he'll get a chance to play. Don't worry about winning and just develop. Alexis Diaz, believe it or not, is on the market. I don't know if I mentioned him in any videos. But I'll throw a couple teams out here, the Mets and Arizona. But he has not been moved. That was the rumor last week. But these are the names and the players and the places they've been moved or signed. And I'll have another update on this sometime before the end of the year, which is next week, as you know. And, of course, I want to thank you for coming by. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.